In timely, clear understanding the OET test. To assist us with it, we have Mr. Ashish Bhushan from OET. He is the BDM of South Asia. It's a joy to have representation from OET for our efforts to impart quality training to our candidates so they excel in the test. Please welcome Mr. Ashish Bhushan for the mega seminar.
Hi, very good morning, everyone. I'm so glad and honored to see all of you in such a huge amount. In fact, we have been running quite a number of roadshows in the last month, and let me first quickly give you a short introduction about myself. My name is Ashish Bhushan. I represent OET Cambridge Boxell Language Assessment, the organization which manages and produces OET. I represent the South Asia region for the business development as a senior business development manager, and I look after the entire operations and BD or whatever it's related to OET for a particular region. I've been associated with Cambridge for the last 7 years now, and I have been a part of Cambridge Assessment English, which jointly co-owns the OET as a Cambridge, between Cambridge and Boxell Institute in Melbourne that comes under University of Australia. So it's a great honor to be here to have a kind of a seminar, a discussion, address, and maybe a discussion with all of you. I'm really glad and thankful to Milan to invite me for such a wonderful seminar to have a discussion with all of you. And this is my first visit to Kottayam. I've been Cochin a couple of times, but then kind of did few seminars in few of the institutions. But something like this, I think I'm doing for the first time. Yes, and therefore, so what happened, I mean, till date, there wasn't much representation, and since the numbers are growing, the number of candidatures going across, across India, across the region, after the acceptance from UK, Ireland, we felt the need that there should be a representation, and that's where I was kind of given this role or opportunity to lead on to this particular thing. And I feel that people are kind of a bit comfortable, more comfortable, because you have someone in the market in your own territory with whom you can get in touch for any particular thing. Yes, we also have our partners like IRS who are trying to work on to improving the quality of the training, and they have achieved stage 1, which is a preliminary provider status. The next stage is premium provider, and I'm sure they'll be able to get that status as well very soon. Globally, we have about 7 premium providers, out of which 1 is from India. So let me quickly get on to the presentation thing, and we can have question and answers. If there are any burning questions, feel free to ask me, or else we'll try to keep the Q&A session towards the end of the presentation or the talk. All right, so I'm going to talk a bit about OET's story. So why it was actually started back in 1980. It was a requirement from the Australian boards, Medical Board Council. They wanted some sort of a English language assessment for the healthcare professionals, and that's how they approached us, the Boxell Institute. In between, so 1980, the test was created or formed by Boxell Institute, which is a vocational institute back in Melbourne. Further beyond, the test which was organized or which was created by Boxell, Cambridge Language Assessment or Cambridge Assessment, which is a non-teaching department of University of Cambridge, which develops a lot of language qualifications of English qualifications for different strata of people, on which Vinesh just talked about. So that particular organization, which leads on to creating all sort of assessments, language assessment, which is also a creator for IELTS examination. I don't know how many of you know already that. So Cambridge Assessment English is the organization which creates IELTS, and that also co-owns now OET. So back in 2013, there was this joint venture between Boxell and Cambridge Assessment, And together, the organization is called Cambridge Box Hill Language Assessment. So from 2013 onwards, the journey has kind of changed a bit, and we have tried to take it up at a global level and not only restricted to Australia. So we are working on to getting more and more recognitions, opening more test venues, and supporting our candidature who would want to go abroad and work in an English-speaking environment. So the whole thing was, as I mentioned, we started back in 2013. It's been a 5-year journey now, and I think we are seeing the trends quite positive so far. What are the missions about the joint venture or the organization now? To help the healthcare providers in terms of assessing language qualifications for the people who come there to do the practice as an employee, for the candidates to provide them with certain, excellent qualifications or maybe language skills, so that tomorrow when you are going and working in an English-speaking environment, you are pretty much comfortable and you don't have problems performing your day-to-day jobs. And thirdly, definitely to establish OET as a global test into a particular, in a specific purpose environment. You would know there isn't any such language, any specific language test which actually caters or assesses healthcare communication. While you have definitely, there are general language assessments which assesses your general English test, but this is something which is unique, and that also is one of the reasons why it is, in terms of cost, it is on a higher side. So we'll talk more about that while we go through the presentation. About the OET, I think most of you would know. By the way, let me ask you one thing. How many of you are first-time test takers or have never taken an OET exam? Okay, that's quite a good number of people. And how many of you are maybe have taken the test once or more than once? Okay, so largely largely we have all the newcomers who are here to take more information about OET. Right, so let me then tell you, so OET is basically an English assessment test which assesses your healthcare communication to make you perfect to work in an English-speaking environment. It could be within India, it could be outside India, it could be UK, Ireland, Australia. These are the countries, the boards which recognize the examination. And they typically assess your 4 sub-skills of language, which is speaking, writing, reading, and listening. The professions that it covers are dentists, dietitians, doctors, nurses, occupational therapists, opticians, pharmacists, physiotherapists, podiatrists, radiographers, speech pathologists, and vets. So in total, there are about 12 professions which are covered by OET. And tomorrow, if you are falling in one of these professions and you are aspiring to go abroad, you can definitely take OET as one of the examinations to improve your language skills and get a job as a registered professional in that particular country. Now, out of these 12 professions, we have top 5 professions from which we get most of the candidature today. One of the topmost, and I'm sure you would agree with me, nursing is one of the topmost professions here for the OET, and as far as the requirement is concerned across. Then comes your medicine, then pharmacy, physiotherapist, and dentistry. But nursing so far has been top since beginning, and that's the trend which we have seen. Which means, you would see a lot of materials coming in for the nursing as a profession, but it's not that we are, losing out onto other professions. Yes, there is a requirement for nursing, but then we are also concerned about our other professions, and therefore, whatever work or whatever materials that we create tomorrow or whatever exams that we create, it's very much created keeping in mind all 12 professions. Moving further, what's in the test? So as I said, it's a 4 sub-skill test. It will have listening, reading, speaking, and writing. And there are different things which are kind of assessed into different sub-skills. So when we talk about listening, you will have to identify facts during short consultations. So what happens is, there's an audio which is played into the examination room, and you'll have to listen to the conversation. There would be people who would be talking. So it could be a consultation between a doctor or nurse. It could be a consultation between a patient and a doctor, or a doctor and or a kin of the patient. So there's a conversation going at the back end, and on the basis of those conversations, you have to actually, answer the questions. Then follow the gist of the workplace communication. So you actually have to, without going much in detail, because there is a time bound, these are all time bound tests, so you have to kind of quickly listen the audio, the communication very, very carefully, and then give your answers or whatever is being asked. Understand a short talk or interview on a health-related topic. So everything is being played into a healthcare kind of an environment, a workplace environment, and whatever conversation or questions are being given to you is very much related to your healthcare workplace scenarios. Coming on to reading, again, it's a source of information from multiple tests, so you'll be given different parts. So reading basically has 3 parts. You'll have A, B, C, and in different parts, so in the B and C, you have MCQs. In the first part, you actually have to read, so you have to do a skim and a scanning, and kind of you'll have to give your answers there. So you need to be proficient very much in reading skills as well. While people, by default, people think that, okay, listening and reading is easy and writing and speaking is tough. But to be honest, any of the Cambridge Assessment qualification, if you talk about, all the 4 sub-skills are given equal importance. So 25% importance is given to each of the sub-skills, which means you have to be very much efficient in all the 4 skills. And it's not about that if your reading is good or if your speaking is good, by default, you'll have your listening good as well. There's a lot of difference, and once you start practicing, you'll realize yourself. Coming on to the writing, so there's a consultation letter which you need to write. So you'll be given a situation, and you have to write a letter. So it could be to a peer, a specialist colleague, or a carer. So writing a referral letter to one of those people. And then speaking is the most interesting, which I don't think any of the examinations today has. It's a kind of a scenario, a situation which is given to you. So it's a role play which you have to do. Assuming that in a hypothetical situation that everything is happening into your workplace, you are performing your job as a nurse, as a doctor, as a physiotherapist, and the role play cards will be given to you. So they are basically 2 role plays. You have to perform both the role plays. There's an interlocutor who is not actually the assessor, not an examiner, but just a kind of a person who will act as a patient or as a carer of the patient, and you'll actually have to converse with that particular person, the interlocutor. So you are basically given 2 role play cards, you perform the task, and the entire conversation is being video recorded through the DVRs. Any questions so far? All right, moving on. Now, OET, we have seen the trend, it's growing. Yes, we do agree there are not enough test venue centers even now, and India definitely is one of the largest market here. But then we are working towards it. For now, we are operating in about 40 countries with 112 test venue centers, and we are hoping that we'll have more test venue centers coming up in future. So we are expecting maybe early next year or something, or maybe mid of next year, we'll have more test venues in India, and we'll try and open. Everything is being done to support our candidates so that they don't have problem in traveling long distances, because we do acknowledge that the test cost is high, but then we also want to take care of candidates. And because of one another reason, we have kind of increased the number of exam dates as well. Till 2018, it was only 12. Now we are kind of increased to 2 more test dates in 2019. So you will have 14 dates in 2019. Usually our exams are conducted on a Saturday. This time we have included 2 Sundays as well to accommodate the calendar. So, you'll have more dates in 2019. And we are hoping that the trend will definitely go up and up. Now, this is a very common question which we keep on hearing from a lot of candidates, a lot of stakeholders, a lot of people who are preparing for for general English and for OET examination. What are the basic differences, or why it is different? I think one of the key things in a general English examination or in a specific English examination is that what we focus upon is on to your workplace communication skills, on your healthcare professions, and not exactly on your general English. The key difference here is when you're preparing for an a general English qualification and you are being assessed, the topics are more related to your general English. So you might be talking about, while you will still be performing your task into English, but then you may be talking which is very much different or not at all related to what you have studied through in the last 3 years or 4 years through your graduation. So you might be talking about global warmings, and you might be talking about population or different other things, which is nowhere related to your profession. And that's where the pain area becomes, because while you have studied 3 years or 4 years in graduation studying about your particular profession, nowhere these things are related to what you have worked. And even tomorrow, once you have learned these things, you're not even going to use it in your workplace. The whole idea behind creating such kind of assessment is to give you more comfortable. I'm not saying that it's going to be an easier test, but all I'm trying to say is that this will give you more comfort in terms of preparing for a language communication and English assessment test. So, which means that the topics which are asked to you is very much related to your workplace culture, to your healthcare environment. So there will be discussions, there will be consultations between doctors, patients. You have to write referral letters. While as compared to any general English test, it's more of a general English questions which are being asked to you. Further on to this, we also have, so all our subtests are also profession specific, which means that out of all those 12 professions which I showed you, the reading and listening is common or general for all the 12 professions. But when it comes to the productive skills, your speaking and writing, it is very much profession specific. So which means that if you're performing or if you're a nurse or if you're a doctor, your writing and speaking task will change as per the profession. So it's not going to be same. So so as I said, that your productive skills assessments are very much profession specific. So when you're preparing for the examination, you'll have to keep these things in mind, that while your reading and listening is going to be a general, without profession specific, is still very much within the healthcare scenarios, but nowhere it's going to be a profession specific. But the moment you come on to the writing and speaking, it's going to be a profession specific, which gives you more comfort, in terms of preparing for the examination. Again, I'm trying to tell you here that it's not going to be, it's not easy, it doesn't compare that you will be easily able to clear the examination, but the probability becomes higher because it's profession specific. You have been studied the same thing in the last 4 years or 5 years, and it makes your life a bit more easier, because even if you have completed your graduation, if you are working somewhere, you can still perform the task in your day-to-day jobs or workplace scenarios. Moving on to the recognition part, what are the organizations that accept OET? I'm sure you would have heard about, and there's a long list which you can definitely anytime go on to our occupationalenglishTest.org website, and you can see the entire list. We have added a new section which is also called specifically for the recruiters. So while these are boards and government departments of Australia, New Zealand, UK, Ireland, Namibia, Dubai, they accept OET qualification for a registered profession, could be a nurse or a medicine. There's a whole list which is available right on our website. All you need to do is just go on our website and look at those, that whole section of recognizing organizations, and you'll be able to find the entire list. As I said, we have also added a section for recruiters, which means there are these international recruiters who also coordinate with with the hospitals or with the employers in that particular country. A lot of hospitals, they are also coming on board, and they are recognizing OET as an examination, which means if you want to directly apply to one of those hospitals, all you need to do is say go through the proper channel, the board. Once you are registered, you can just go ahead and apply to that particular employer. All right, moving to the candidature. I'm not sure how many of you will be amazed to see this, but then until a year ago, our growth was about 20-25%, which is kind of very normal. But the last year or so, we have seen the growth crossing 100%. And this is a global growth. I mean, people strive to have such kind of growth. I mean, when you talk about growth percentage, it's like 20%, 15%, 25% is what we see. Here, what has happened is it has actually taken its toll on so many things. While growth is good, it's a kind of, I would say a pain as well, because yes, we are happy to see the growth. There are a lot of candidatures growing, a lot of people are taking OET examination. But at the back end as well, we have to prepare ourselves to enhance our bandwidth so that we can support this growth as well. And that has actually taken, there are a lot of complaints as well we have got from the candidates, and we are trying to working upon those things. Just to give you an example, all this growth has happened in the last 6 to 8 months, the time when we got the recognition from UK and Ireland, NMC and GMC. So actually a lot of candidates, which means are eager or want to go to UK or Ireland for these healthcare professional jobs, which is quite a good thing. And we are expecting more such kind of assessments, recognitions to come in future. I'm not sure how many of you are aware, but there's a recent announcement which was done by NMC, and candidates who are preparing for the nursing or midwifery, immediately after completing their graduation, they can just apply for the job without waiting to gain some work experience. Earlier, there was experience required of about 1 to 2 years. Now they have taken that off, so which means immediately after your graduation, you can go and apply. So, all the best. So yes, so coming back onto this point, so yes, we have kind of seen a growth globally about 104%, which is quite a good thing. And out of that, India is the top market now. In terms of OET candidature, we were, until 8 months ago, we were about at a second position. Australia and New Zealand was the top market for us. Now, India has become the top market. And I think Kerala is one of the largest contributor there. So I think, why not clap for yourself, for the market, for yourself, because it has happened because of you only. So India definitely is one of the top markets, and out of India, if we talk about Kerala, definitely is one of the focus areas wherein we get most of the candidature from this part of the country. And let me also tell you, the employers back there in Australia and UK, we get a lot of feedbacks, a lot of testimonies from them, and they're really happy to have nurses coming from this part of the country, and overall from India as well. So yes. All right, so this is something I think we talked about it. OET has been updated, so there has been candidates. There were a few of the candidates who said that they have taken the examination once. But for the newcomers, most of the newcomers, I will tell you that earlier our experience or the candidate experience has not been that great, wherein you have to hold a placard mentioning your number and take a picture on the test day. So all those things has been removed. We have updated our, our system, and this is all to take care of the, take the feedback or inputs from the recruiters, from the boards who have kind of recognized OET as an, for the registration purposes, and to ensure the test continues to reflect latest practice in language assessment and healthcare communication. A standard periodic review of this nature, typical of high-stakes English language proficiency tests, ensures OET remains highly relevant to healthcare professionals and healthcare employers worldwide. At the same time, the system used to deliver and administer the end-to-end OET test cycle is also being upgraded to ensure the OET journey is easier, simpler, and more secure for all stakeholders, candidates, recognizing organizations, test venues, and assessors. So which means we definitely care for our students, for our candidates who are preparing for the examination, And we want to send out a message that it's not that we are only kind of interested into getting your registrations or selling the examination. It's not at all like that. We are more concerned about helping the students, helping the candidates to prepare for the OET examination so that you are able to clear the examination in one attempt or maximum 2 attempts and not more than that. Because we are at a pain when we see that the same candidate is taking a particular test multiple number of times without realizing where exactly is the fall or pitfall is. What else has been updated? Because healthcare is changing, OET takes great pride in responding effectively to the needs of a highly evolving healthcare industry and ensuring that OET prepares candidates well for their chosen profession. To continue being highly relevant and fit for purpose, like all high-stake tests, OET needs to undergo standard periodic review to ensure the test reflects latest practice in language assessment. And this is a kind of a general practice which we keep on doing. So every 2 years, 3 years, we have to update the examination, the content of the examination. And yes, everyone is, it's a kind of a growing industry. So there are a lot of new organizations who in future are going to accept OET, and we have to take care, we have to ensure that their needs, their requirements are also taken care. So all we try to do is update the, the content of the examination, the test taker's journey, ensuring that the difficulty level of the examination is not at all increased or not at all hampered. So which means whatever the level of difficulty was there earlier, it's the same. So there hasn't been any change into the difficulty, and this is one of the concerns which I heard from few of the candidates, 3 of the language training partners who work with us. And after we did this revision in about 9 September examination, that's when the OET got updated, the entire new system was brought into place. But let me assure you, there hasn't been any change into the difficulty level of the examination. It still remains the same, just that the few sections has been added to ensure that the content, the current content or up-to-date workplace communication skills are factored into the examination. To reflect current research, the updates to OET reflect findings from rigorous research processes, extensive consultation, and subject matter experts, and ongoing stakeholder and candidate feedback. Now, I'll give you a bit more examples of how this has been updated. And I'm sure you would definitely glad to see this for the candidates who are going to take, who might have taken once. Now, this is one of the updates which we have done to the scoring card. Now, earlier what used to happen is you used to get only bands. Like in IELTS, you get different bands of the scores. In OET, you used to get A, B, C, D, E. A on the proficient side, E on the basic user side. What we have now done is we have added a numerical scores as well, which means for, by the way, let me tell you, there's no summary or a single score on the OET. So there's no combined score for OET as in grade for your language. So there are subtest scores, so which means for every subtest, listening, speaking, writing, and reading, you get different scores. You have individual scores. And together, and all those scores put together is taken as your OET grade or something. Now, what we have done to improvise the system, what we have done is we have added the numerical score system as well, which means that if you have taken all the 4 skills, all the subtests, you will get a particular numerical score. So, which means earlier what used to happen if you are at a B, if you are at a C grade or C+, you would not know how much more effort you need to put in to improve, say, a particular skill. Say, for example, you have got a certain score into, I'll probably show you in one of the slides. So, this is kind of, we have added this particular thing into the scoring system. What we have also done is we have added the correlative scores with the IELTS and OET, which means tomorrow if you want to see your comparison of your IELTS score with the OET, you'll be able to do that right here itself. Now, the example what I was trying to give you, how it is going to help you. So, say for example, if you have got, say, C or C plus in 3 of the skills, say reading, listening, and writing and speaking, you have got, say, 350 or 340, which is exactly onto the, which is exactly onto the C+. So in that case, what happens, you actually know that how much more effort you need to put. If you are in the range of 300 to 340, you know that how much extra effort you need to put into that particular sub-skill. And which also helps you, gives very much clarity on to how much you need to work upon any particular sub-skill on, for that matter. So, which is actually a good thing. So today, if I know that where do I stand exactly, I would put in same amount of effort into the right direction rather than, just working all across, and which is definitely going to be a time-consuming thing as well. So that's one good thing which we have done, is we have added the numerical scores, and you will be able to know exactly where do you stand in the examination in all the 4 sub-skills. And on the basis of that, if you have got, say, C+ or C in one of those skills, you can resit the examination in only that particular skill. Now, over here, if you can see the 2 examples which we have given, wherein you have got, say, B in all the 4 skills, which is good. But say in another one, what you have got is a C+ in one of the sub-skills, which is reading. So you can do a reattempt, or you can resit the examination just for that particular section, or for the entire test again. And the entire combination in the last 6 months, if you have, say, resit the examination twice, within the 6 months, if you have taken the examination, the entire combination, if it's B, then you are good to go. So even if you have got, say, C+ into the second attempt and C+ in one of those first attempts, the combination of these 2 scores, if it's taken all the 4 sub-skills, somewhere if it's shown that, yes, you have got a B grade, you will be accepted. Coming on to the more detailing of what exactly the test consists of. So when we are talking about the listening assessment, it has 3 parts. Part A, B, and C, as I said. So there is a conversation which goes on behind. You will listen to it, and then you take the, you answer those questions. Part B and C is again more related to your workplace communication skills, and these are MCQs. So it's in total, it's about 40-minute test, and you will be told when the examination test. And you need to, and all these sections are time bound, so you will be informed about when to move on to the next section as well. Coming on to reading, it's about 60-minute test. You get some time for, it's again divided into 3 parts, part A, B, and C. First part is workplace test. So you have to study the scenarios. Based on to that, you have to give your answers. Then part B and C are MCQs. So when these are MCQs, you have to be extra careful to not, give wrong answers there. So you have to be careful as well. You don't answer, multiple things. There could be 2 similar answers for the same set of questions, but then you'll have to kind of do a bit of skinning and scamming of the conversation or whatever question that has been given to you, to actually understand what could be a more closest answer to that particular conversation or that particular question, rather. Moving on to writing, again, it's a very much profession specific, as I mentioned earlier. It depends on to which profession you have applied for. If you are a nurse, if you are a doctor, if you are a physiotherapist, you will get questions very much based on to that particular profession. So the writing questions will be based on to the profession, and you have to answer on the basis of the profession. So which means, it gives you more comfort in terms of preparation. So you get a 5 minutes time for reading the conversation or whatever the question paper is, and then on the basis of that, there's a 40-minute time given to you to answer the questions. Moving on to the speaking, which is the most interesting part, is, as I said, you are being given 2 role play cards, 5 minutes for reading, and it's basically a 20-minute exercise, which covers the entire conversation. The entire thing is being recorded into a video, and there's an interlocutor who acts as a patient or as a carer of the patient, and you have to perform your actual job. So either you're a nurse or a doctor, you have to do a role play of that particular profession. So there are 2 role play cards which are being given to you, and you perform the actual role play. Now, talking about, this is from the perspective of the test day experience, what we have also done. So apart from adding some of the latest updates or trends into the content of the examination, what we have also done is we have updated our system, which is to improve the experience of the candidates, of the test venue partners who are managing the test centers in terms of the administration of the test. So what are things that we have done is we have kind of updated, and now it's more digital platform. So there are less of manual interventions required. The test day experience has become more easier. Earlier, as I was telling you, you need to hold a placard with your test candidate number and things like that and click a photo. Now everything is being done by the digitally by the system. So all you need to do is just have a test day photo, your whatever photo that you have uploaded onto the test registration date. Try to upload your not older than 6-month picture, because what happens is when the picture is being compared between your test day photo and what you have uploaded on the registration date, there's a software which actually does a face recognition, and it has to match both the pictures. So which means there's a current day photo which is being taken on the test day, and the photo which you would have uploaded onto during the registration time. So try to upload not older than 6 months, your photo. Then my OET will also replace a current system, removing many time-consuming manual tasks. What are the key benefits for candidates? Use a new dedicated candidate portal in the My OET system, be able to more easily create and manage the profiles and register. One of the good things what has happened is now you can access your own scores immediately after, I would say, three working weeks, 3 weeks, and you yourself can download your scorecards, so no need to wait for the certificates you're going to get from OET and all those things. You will be very much be able to access your scorecards immediately 3 weeks after the examination date. The online profile details are very much personalized now. The test day experience we have kind of improved. Identify check through My OET, no more holding candidate number card. Personalized test paper for increased security. So every candidate, once you have registered on the test day, it's going to be a very much personalized question paper. So every candidate will get a bar-coded question paper, and it cannot be exchanged at all. So you get what you registered on the test day, and the test day question paper is very much personalized to yourself. Results released through My OET, no more paper statement of results. You can print your own, and have greater privacy by setting permissions to determine who sees your results. Which means tomorrow, if you don't want a particular employer or someone to see your result, you can just block it. Or you can just keep it open for more people, more recruiters to have an access to your results. Even from the recruiter's side, from the boards or from the council side, they also have the access, so they can access your results provided you have given the permission. Candidate engagement and support. Now this is more about the preparation. From the preparation point of view, there's a lot of preparation materials which we are kind of adding day in, day out, and we are hoping to add some more preparation materials about OET for the examination for the test. Currently onto the OET website, when you go, there's a preparation section which will give you all these information. So there's a Start for Success package. It's completely free, but then there are certain packages which are chargeable as well. But then to initiate with it, all you need to do is just register for it and go for, so there are a lot of sample papers which are given. I think at least 2 sample papers are given for each of the subsets. So all you need to do is click on over here, register yourself, and you'll be able to access all these sample tests. And then you have master classes which are being run by our education team directly from Melbourne. So they run these master classes. The master classes which are there also on our website, I'll probably show you. and you can just go directly and listen to these master classes for all the sub skills. Then you have live Q&A sessions, which we do every 2 weeks on the Facebook, on our official Facebook page. So all you need to do is just like the page, and there's a live Q&A sessions. If you want to attend, you should attend rather, and whatever kind of questions that you have, feel free to post it there, and they'll be able to answer. The experts will be able to answer. To talk more about Masterclass, it's designed for candidates who are new to OET, how to approach OET for preparation in confident and effective way, covers listening, reading, speaking, and writing, and it's available on demand. So which means you can access the Masterclasses n number of times till the time you feel really comfortable about it. So go on the website, attend the OET Masterclass, listen to it, and it will give you more confidence every time that you listen to it. Rebecca Bush is our education support manager, and she runs the live Q&A sessions on our every 15 days on our Facebook live page, and she is the one who also has created a lot of these masterclasses. So you can attend those masterclasses which are there posted on our website. You can post in your questions in case you have any questions right there. There's a chat box as well which is given. So all this is being done to support our candidates more and more, and to ensure that you don't feel disheartened when you don't get results or when you don't get right grades. The entire endeavor is to support you and to ensure that you don't time and again come and take multiple attempts to clear the examination. Try and understand where exactly is the fall. What do you need to prepare well for the examination before just getting an information about OET and just going and taking the examination. It's very much important that you prepare for the examination and do a time management based practice as well when you are doing the mock test. So ensure that whatever time you are taking to clear or to complete the mock test is very much within the same time limit. Some of the official practice materials which are there, and you can buy directly from Amazon. You can go through our website as well. All you need to do is go on to this preparation portal page. It will take you through the official guide that is available. It's a Kindle version. It's online books which are available. In India, currently it's not, the paper version is still not available, but you will still be able to access the online versions of the book. Then we have a Start for Success package. This is in partnership with one of our premium providers based out of UK, and it's actually an online course. If you want, you can register for it, and you can go and attend the classes there as well. They have video lessons, OET subtests, grammar lessons, specific grammar lessons and activities, writing guide, and writing video explanations. So with this, it gives you quite a good number of preparation packs. Preparation nurture campaign for candidates, this is quite good, and in fact it happens once you have registered for the examination. You get some series of emails from our education team who actually helps you in terms of explaining you what you need to do, how your preparation is going. So there are a lot of inputs, a lot of things that they will give you. It's a kind of some 4 to 5 emails they'll send it to you with a lot of information, things that you need, that will help you to prepare for the examination. And as I talked about the Facebook page, we do have our official OET page on Facebook. All you need to do is, like the page, and you'll get a lot of updates, whatever that's happening in OET. You'll be able to see all those updates. There are a lot of information, a lot of test-related stuff that is being posted onto our Facebook page, and it is actually quite helpful for the candidates who are preparing for the examination. Healthcare communication bulletins, you can register for this. This is also quite a good thing. We keep on sending these bulletins to our candidates, to our alumni network, and you get to know that what's happening, what are the new recruiters, what are the new organizations who have recognized the examination. So these kind of information is kind of given through these newsletters, which is quite helpful for you if you are preparing to take the examination and want to move abroad, or actually seeking employment with one of those recruiters. So these kind of newsletters is actually going to help you to keep you updated on to what is happening and who all are new recruiters or employers who are recognizing or coming on board. Then we have some success stories. I think a lot of success stories were already played by IRS today morning, and that was quite good. One of those were from OET as well, which you see the first one, pharmacist and Amalis. Then there is a Hardik success story. Then there's one from the doctor. We have recently updated few more success stories, which you can go back and have a look. Candidate survey, I think we quite often, after every test day, we take these feedback from the candidates, their test day experience, and the results have been, so the parameters are basically to take the feedback to inform future strategies, measure candidates' responses to having the choice of taking OET, and then it's kind of sent to, the entire alumni network. And we are glad to see the kind of responses that we have. It's about 88% of the candidates say that they fall under the very satisfied and satisfied category. There are a few who say neither, but then we are much concerned and more concerned about the ones who are unsatisfied or very unsatisfied, which is about 7%. And we time and again get back to them in case they reach out to us through Facebook or through our own page, through our help desk section. We try and respond to their questions, and we are trying to see that how soon we can reduce these numbers as well, because 7% itself is quite a huge number for us in terms of the global candidature if you look out. Some of the testimonies from our candidates, and I think a few of the candidates of who you saw the video in the morning, they themselves talked a lot about IRS and how OET has actually changed their life. And a lot of people have been able to uplift their lifestyle, their families, supporting their families. And one of the examples I would want to quote here, the family of OET are literally helping each other, guiding and lifting everyone to achieve their desired marks. You're not only taking an exam, but you're also gaining a family. So there are a lot of such kind of testimonies that we get to hear from the candidates. And these are not edited, these are just put in as we get from the candidates. So I'm sure all of you would agree with the kind of lifestyle that is going to change, that it's going to bring tomorrow once you have got this score, you have become a registered professional in one of those countries, your dream countries. It's going to change a lot of things for you. So that brings to the end of the presentation. There's another success story which you can go online. I've not connected the internet, but you can always see the video on YouTube, on our website. And that brings to the end of the seminar. Any questions? I think we are also organizing a consultation session after, just after this. But in case you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer here. No questions? All clear? Yes.
Comparatively, other examination, OET exam has got a fee structure quite higher.
Yes.
So is there any chances of reducing the fee structure?
Okay, let me answer you, and I've tried to explain you why, what's the reason behind the, the high fees or... So one of the key things that you would understand and you would agree that any of the examinations that you talk about, any general English examination, these are only written by the language experts. When it comes to OET, it becomes a profession specific. And that's where we have a requirement of not only having the language experts, but also having the subject matter experts. And those are the most, one of the costliest people. Because those are people, those are experienced people like you only. So these are doctors, these are nurses, these are, profession specific experts. These are complete subject matter experts who, contribute in writing these examinations. Now, every time there's an examination, there's a test, you have a new set of test materials to be written. And that's why it is very much different to a general English examination. So you are not writing a general English examination, you are writing a very much healthcare professional test, which is, developed by a subject matter expert and a language expert. Let me also tell you, since the entire, the OET is managed by Cambridge Boxall Language Assessment, which is again in turn is owned by Cambridge Assessment, the larger portion of it, it's a 70-30 JV. but then the larger portion is again controlled by Cambridge Assessment. And Cambridge Assessment under University of Cambridge is a not-for-profit, non-commercial organization, which means that whatever revenue that we generate or we earn, it's given back or invested back into the market into uplifting or whatever work that we do, be it into our researchers or whatever examinations that we produce. So it's not that, tomorrow with the kind of money that is being charged, will that mean that we would be really a rich organization? But it's not like that. What happens is the entire whatever money that we collect from you, it's gone back, it's put in back into the system to update the system, to update whatever the content of the examination, and to meet the requirements of the regulators, of the employers. Plus, as I mentioned, a lot of the portion goes to the subject matter experts, not only the language experts. If you compare with any general English examination, there you only have language experts who are writing the examination. Here you have subject matter experts as well who are contributing in writing these examinations, and that's why the test fees is on a higher side. Yes. Okay. Is the mic on?
Thank you for the long information you have given on OET. I just want to know what is the numeric scale you have set. Can you just tell us the scale?
So this has already been launched. 9th September, we launched a new updated version of the test. And whoever took the examination on 9th of September, they would have got the results. 2nd October, we gave the results. So, people who would have taken the test on 9th of September, they would have got the result and they would have seen what are the updates or what are the changes. In fact, what you can also do is, and I'm trying, can we open? If you also go on to occupationenglistest.org, which is a website, there's a section called results, something called results and scores. I'll just see if we are able to connect. And that will actually tell you what is the scoring pattern and how does it help you. How does it help you in terms of understanding what does the score difference means, how your, what all things that you can do to, improve your score as well for a particular sub-skills. So for you, for your own benefit, I think rather than looking at different people or getting information from different places, the best way is to go on to Occupational English Test website and find the information there itself. Everything that you are looking for is listed there, most of it. And in case you are unable to find your answer, just there's a chat box, there's a help desk. All you need to do is just write to it and we'll be happy to answer you back.
Sir, what is the score requirement? I mean the minimum score requirement. Is it same for every profession like nurses, doctor? Is it same for everyone?
No, it's, sorry, if you can ask the question once again.
We have heard that it's like we need to gain B grade for every modules to migrate to Australia.
Okay.
Is it same for every profession?
Okay. Okay. Let me tell you something. So OET is the body, or CBLA is the body which creates the examination. We are only responsible of giving you the correct or validated or reliable scores. As far as acceptance of the scores are concerned, it purely depends on to the recognizing organization. So tomorrow, if you want to apply to a board or a council, a medical board or council in Australia, they might have a different score pattern. If you're applying into UK or Ireland, they might have a different acceptance of the scores. But largely, if you ask me, it is a B grade is what is accepted in all the 4 sub-skills. So you need to have a B grade. There could be a combination accepted, as I showed in one of the slides, that the combination of 2 sittings of the test wherein you have got 3 Bs and 1 C+, and then in the other research you got again a 3 B and 1 C+. So that combination is accepted by few of the boards, but all you need to do is go directly on that particular organization's website and you will be able to find out what exactly the scores are accepted.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes. Okay.
Sir, actually, I am preparing by myself for the exam. So I just want to know, as far as I know, there is only one material is completely out to prepare for the students, like only 3 sets of materials. So it is better if you give some other idea about any other materials which we can use for preparation. I think many of the candidates, like they would like to prepare by themselves because they may be engaged with their work or something like that.
Sure. So, yeah, so completely agree with you, and it's a good thing. So what you can do is, I'll just take you through the website as well. So there's a section onto our homepage itself. We have given, so there's a preparation portal which is given on our website itself on the very first page. All you have to do is visit the website, look for those preparation. I showed a couple of the success packages, what exactly the content is. There's online courses available, which is again offered by some of our premium providers, partners globally. So you can register, you can go for those packages. There's a book available which we have published through Kaplan. There are global publishers, so you can access, you can buy the book. That is one material. Apart from that, there are some sample test papers which are also available on the website. There are about 2 samples which are available for all the subtests. So all you need to do is just visit the website, download all those materials or practice those materials, and you should be good to go. Yes, I know that's not enough. We are working towards it, and very soon, in a couple of months' time, you will be able to get some more materials. We have some good publishers. Cambridge University Press is definitely one of those who is helping us to procure some more materials. But as you would know that writing a book, it's not a 1-day or a 15-day task. We are working on it, and very soon we'll be making some announcement on to having some more preparation materials. But in the meantime, I think whatever that is published or whatever that is available on our website, that should be good enough to help you in preparing for the examination. One thing you should need to know about about the examination, or about, before you take the examination, you yourself need to be confident about whatever that you're going to prepare or you're going to be assessed upon. I think no one knows yourself better than you yourself. So it's always good to, take a step back and analyze yourself, how good, whether you will be able to complete or, get that kind of a scores. You will be able to answer those questions. Try to practice with your friends, with your colleagues. You have, either if you are already working, you can do a practice, maybe 2 or 3 set of people. You can have your own group. You can, all 3 or 4 of you, you can prepare for the examination, and you can have the conversation completely as you think will be able to help you to get the scores. So all you need to do, see, we are not, OET is nowhere touching upon your technical skills at all. We are not touching upon what is your technical competencies. All we are talking about and assessing is your communication skills. So you need to excel your communication skills, your speaking, your reading, listening, and writing. You need to be excellent in that. About your technicals, you have been studied, you have got good marks, and that's why you're looking to apply. Believe me, these boards, these councils, they're just struggling to get qualified people. There have been instances wherein the healthcare professionals, they were offered the job letters on the condition that they need to meet these language criteria. And because they could not meet, the offer letter got declined. So these employers, these international recruiters, they're dying to, there's a huge crisis back in UK after the Brexit, and they're kind of dying to have more number of people on board. They need support. Definitely India is a resource market, and they want people to support them to have these, to go back and help them into the industry, into the healthcare sector. But because we are not able to, produce enough number of candidates, language is one of the key barriers, definitely. And that's where we are expecting IRS to help prepare candidates, to offer quality trainings. They have achieved today, for now, they are at a preliminary status with us. And we are hoping that they'll soon be getting a premium status, which means they'll have more authentic, and OET will kind of endorse their training material and content as well. But for now, it's more of a support. We are trying to work with the trainers so that they get qualified training faculty who in turn will be able to help you. Yes.
Could you please explain me regarding the weightage of mark? Like it is totally on 500, right? Or whether it is equally divided for three, part A, part B and part C?
Okay, that's a bit technical question. All right, so, okay, I'll come back to your question, but I was quickly trying to show you what exactly. So if you go to this particular section, it shows you the free sample test, the Start for Success package, masterclass, preparation providers, and OET blocks. So the first four definitely is going to help you. You can look at what are the preparation providers available in the market. In your country specifically, we have few preparation providers who are listed, who are based out of Kerala. IRS is one of those preliminary preparation providers. There's a master class. All you need to do is click over here, register yourself, just with your name. So these are all the sub-skills master classes available. All you need to do is just register with your name and your email ID. The link will be sent to you, or you can just directly go here and watch the master classes. That is one way. This will definitely going to give you a lot of help and clarity in terms of preparing the examination. In terms of sample test I was talking about, there was a question on 2 sample tests. So for every sub-test you have these sample tests available. Just go onto the website, scroll, download these sample tests, take a printout if you want, and you can practice it yourself. Again, there was a question on to, I think someone asked me about the results and assessments. So this is how the results, the effective, the new result is now, which is available there. And the entire scoring pattern is given there, along with some of the FAQs which are listed there, so which you can definitely go back and have a look. But if you can repeat your question once again.
So can you please explain me regarding the weightage of mark? Like it is all.
So as I said, all the 4 sub-skills are given equal importance. Any Cambridge qualification that you talk about, 25% weightage is given to all the sub-skills. So be it reading, listening, speaking, and writing, all the 4 sub-skills will have 25% weightage. So there's nothing like this that you get a 35% in listening or 40% is in speaking. It's not like that at all. So all the 4 skills are equally important as a healthcare profession or as a good communicator. I hope that answers your question. All right, so I think that brings to end of my session. And just feel free to walk to me in case there are any other questions. I'll be here around for some more time. And just feel free to reach out. If you want to write to me, while I haven't done this, but if you want to, if you still have some unclear questions and want some information, some suggestion, you can take down my email ID. You can write your questions, post your questions to me, while the easiest way is to just write directly to our website. Go to the chat section, to the help section. You can just write your questions, post your questions there. But I'm happy to support here, and I'm happy to give you my email ID. So you need to just take down my email ID, and for any questions, just feel free to write to me, and I'll see that these are kind of answered. So my email ID goes like this. It's Ashish, AASHISH, .Bhushan, BHUSHAN. So it's ashish.bhushan @oet.com.au. I'll repeat it again. It's Ashish, AASHISH, .Bhushan, BHUSHAN @oet.com.au.
I had a last question for you.
Yes.
Yeah. Firstly, thanks, Ashish. It was a wonderful presentation from
Pleasure.
you. The questions, I know IRS is one of the best organization which grooms each and every individual. But I just wondered from your perspective, like how as a candidate we should choose an organization which could be better one. Like you said, IRS is in a preliminary stage. So like how, like as a candidate, we should choose which organization would be the best?
Okay, so let me show you something. So this is a list of preparation providers, and this actually gives you a list of preparation of providers who are there across for OET. For now, there are about 7 or 8 preparation providers. As you can see, Khaira Education is the only one which is there in India. They're based out of Amritsar. They have branches in Delhi. But then if you go here and you click on to India and show non-premium providers, which is a preliminary providers, you will be able to see the list of preliminary providers that we have in India along with the profession. So every institute or every language training school who works with us under this particular program, which is called Preparation Provider Program, they register through their teachers who are required to meet our minimum professional requirements, and then they undergo a certain trainings, online trainings. They are supported by our education team. They are supported by our experts to help them to clear these these stages. So there are different lesson plans which they need to undergo, they need to clear it. And that's where we have few of these organizations listed in India. There are about 7 or 8 or 9. IRS Group is one of those organizations. All these organizations, they come under preliminary provider. You can still reach out to them. They would have completed somewhat of modules of training. But once you get a premium stages, which is the higher stage of the training, you become a complete authorized preparation provider for OET. But for now, you still have a few of these organizations who are listed under preliminary preparation provider. All right. Thank you so much. It was a great pleasure and honor to interact with all of you, and I look forward to have more such kind of sessions to come back to Kottayam, to Kochi, Kerala, and I'm very much based out of India. My office is in Delhi. So just feel free to reach out to me through email. I've shared my email ID in case there are any questions. But more than that, the easiest way is to go on to our website, because our website has all the information that you're looking for. Whatever sort of preparation materials are required, it's all listed there. We will be coming up with more preparation materials, and it will be announced on our website. And you can just go through and access the website and have more information. For any questions, just feel free to write to me, or the easiest way is just reach out to our help desk. There's a live chat section onto a webinar which I showed the master classes. There's a chat section. You can just post your chat, your queries there on the chat section, and they'll be happy to answer. Or if not, there's a live webinar sessions which happens on Facebook every 2 weeks. Post your questions. It's run by Rebecca Bush, our education manager, and she'll be happy to answer your questions. Thank you so much, Milan and Arun, for inviting me for such a wonderful session. I really loved it, enjoyed it, and I do hope that all of you enjoyed the session and it was useful and informative for you as well. Thank you so much.